Alright, due to lack of space, I'm having to do this in my 1-year-old's room, but we got a Yeti 50 and train table, but ignore that. And I got the Igloo Sportsman 55. The Sportsman 55, the model actually indicates how many quarts it holds, whereas the Yeti 50 doesn't even hold 50 quarts. So it's not a very good size comparison, but the test is to see which cooler keeps ice longer. Lincoln, simmer down. Alright. I filled them both up with 2 20-pound bags of ice, which on the Yeti, that pretty much fills them up. And if you don't already know, keep children's fingers well away from roto-molded coolers. Those lids are heavy. And in the Igloo Sportsman 55, it didn't fill up as much space. So same amount of ice, but that leaves some empty space in the Igloo. I'm not sure how that'll affect performance, but this is day 1, and we're gonna test and find out which cooler is better.
What the hell?
Look out, Nick. And I'll do a feature comparison at the end. Okay, it's day 2 of the ice challenge. In this corner, the Yeti Tundra 50. In that corner, the Igloo Sportsman 55. Okay, it's day 2 of the ice challenge. In this corner, the Yeti Tundra 50. And in this corner, the Igloo Sportsman 55. Let's take a look and see what the ice looks like. Looks about the same as yesterday in both cases. We'll see what happens. Okay, day 3 ice challenge, Yeti, Igloo. Let's check what we got. Not a whole lot of change, although it seems the ice is kind of blocked up and there's a gap on the Yeti side. Let's see what the Igloo looks like. Very similar. Very similar in temps as well. So we'll see how this plays out. Alright, day 4. Looks a lot like yesterday.
Are you videoing?
Yes. Overall, looks like the Igloo has allowed more melting. than the Yeti. So we'll see if that trend continues. Okay, day 5. Let's see what the ice looks like. And pretty steady on the Yeti. And noticeably more ice melt in the Igloo. Day 6 of the ice challenge. The 7-day ice challenge, so one more day after today. Still lots of ice. The ice has turned into a big block basically, and just kind of floating in the water there. And noticeably, what appears to be noticeably less ice in the Igloo, although the Igloo isn't quite as deep as the Yeti. It's considerably wider, and the internal volume is a lot higher on the Igloo, but they're both still holding ice. Okay, 7th and what I thought would be the final day for the ice challenge, but they're both still, still got so much ice left. Maybe I'll just keep going until the last of the ice melts. But day 7, I should add, I think I forgot to say this before, but this is done with an ambient room temperature of about 72 degrees. So this isn't mimicking like summer conditions where I'll normally be using a cooler, but it's still well above freezing. And when comparing, at least it's the same temperature. I should note that they're both right next to a vent, which is blowing hot air pretty much all the time because it's been warm outside. So the side of the coolers where the vents are is more like 77. So again, ambient room temperature closer to 72, but definitely not any lower than that since they're right next to the vents. And let's see how much ice we got. So far the Yeti's been holding the ice just a little bit longer. And there's still a good little floating chunk there. And surprisingly enough, a good chunk there. That Yeti chunk might be thicker, but this might be just as much ice because it's spread out over a wider area. So pretty even. The Yetis appeared to hold better at day 5 or so, but I think that might be to the fact that that particular cooler is taller and not as wide, because now the ice appears to be almost about the same. So anyway, if anything, the Yeti, in my opinion, would have had a slight edge since the internal volume is smaller, but I put the same exact amount of ice in both. So the Igloo Sportsman had more empty space in it, whereas the Yeti was almost full to the very top with ice. And I think full to the top would make the cooler hold ice longer. I may be wrong about that, but anyway, 7th and final day. I'll probably, maybe I'll see how many days it goes, but I think this is it for the videos. Without this video turning into something way too long. So I would say pretty even. Yeti Sportsman. So pretty impressed with the Igloo Sportsman for the price. That concludes the test.